also had a little bit too much milk last night. Very, very unfortunate, but you know, we're here. Dobre wieczór. How do you compress an entire year into a 10-minute speech? Wroclaw, as our muse, makes this task both easier and harder. Because it was such a memorable year, great moments just need a quick chat with a colleague, look through pictures, or listen to a bad American pop song to come rushing back. But at the same time, there are so many memories and emotions attached that a few paragraphs cannot begin to scratch the surface. But we still want to give it a shot, both for those of us who simply would like to reminisce and celebrate, and for those of you curious about what life in Wroclaw was like for Erasmus Mundus Global Study students, or EMGS.
As I was accepted into the EMGS program with Wroclaw as my second year of study, I didn't know anything about the university's long history, its esteemed reputation, or its administrative jungle we all later on had to navigate through. But let's start at the beginning, how I came to visit Wroclaw in May last year, where I met my fellow global studies students, the then second-year students, and how they told me stories about their life at the university. What would the year ahead of me be like? What support could I expect from the university when writing my master thesis? Back then, these were really pressing questions to me. But before continuing this path of our academic journey in Wroclaw, I was wonderfully taken aback what I found the city to be like during my first visit. Having known the city as a point on the map in a neighboring European country, I immediately felt welcome and at home here, walking through its streets, admiring its buildings, some of them in desperate need of repair, but to me, this is part of the charm of the city. I realized I would feel quite at peace here in this city, even though my Polish was, and is not, very good. For me, not only was this feel of the city similar to other places I had visited before, but it was also surrounding countryside, the mountains around Karpacz, our winter school destination, were all but familiar to me.
And speaking of our incredible winter school in the Polish mountains, my first encounter with Wroclaw happened on the way to and from there during my year in hostel. People from our program who lived in Wroclaw at the time were sweet to host me and a good friend, also from the program, and to show us around. I was instantly sucked in by Wrocław's mix of Baroque, Gothic, and Prussian architectural styles in and around the Rynek, or Market Square, at the time adorned with abundant Christmas lights, a Christmas market, and an enormous sparkling Christmas tree, which you can see already. Wrocław truly is a meeting place in a lot of ways, in architecture, culture, history, and social life, of course. Later on, living in Wrocław, I will discover that the particular year with which Wrocław dressed itself up for Christmas also applies to a lot of the restaurants, bars, and clubs in the city all year round, especially the ones with the vintage decoration and vibe.
One of the place where we organized a small Christmas party for all the EMGS students. And we had a little secret Santa with earrings, crayons, shot glasses, homemade alcohol, and other such things as memorable gifts.
And don't forget the Rimczewski film, Shaiba, Speakeasy, Levitacja, Gravitacja, and Kalambur, which we're going to later for the party. You're really going to enjoy it. There are so many, many cool places in the city, too many to name. Anyway, as Doreen started to say, also the places that lack paint and renovations, the old-style trams and buses, the graves and facades still sporting bullet holes equally contribute to the identity and the telling of the story of the city, which rose from the ashes of war and oppression to become the cherished home of students and professionals from all over the world, one of the hosts of the 2012 European Cup and the 2016 European Capital of Culture. This story and our story as students in the city